Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. Micky van de Ven insists Tottenham have nothing to fear against Manchester United in the Europa League final. The imperious Dutchman, who marshalled the Spurs defence to a second successive European away clean sheet in Norway against Bodo Glimt, said of Ruben Amorim's side, "They played Athletic Club, a really good team, and it was 7-1 over the two games." So they've also shown some real quality in Europe. We knew it's going to be a different game. Everything can happen in a final, but we're not going there with fear, of course. We know our qualities. We know it's going to be a difficult game, as Man United have also shown their quality in this European campaign. Tottenham are bidding to end their 17-year wait for silverware. However, it's also been 41 years since they last lifted a European trophy UEFA Cup. Van de Ven is confident Ange Postecoglou's troops can now finally end that hoodoo by finishing a difficult season on the greatest of highs. He continued, "Everybody goes to Bilbao to win a trophy. It has been a tough season, and it will only be successful if we win the Europa League and get that trophy." To be in a European final with Tottenham is a big thing for the fans, the club, and me personally. I'm really proud to be part of it. Van de Ven, who only played 135 minutes of Spurs' group campaign due to a hamstring injury, starred alongside influential captain Christian Romero in Thursday's gritty victory inside the Arctic Circle. He paid tribute to the indispensable Argentine, hailing a captain's performance in the absence of injured skipper Heung-min Son. The 24-year-old said Cuti's an unbelievable player. You can see that mentality-wise. With the ball, without the ball, he knows how it is to play these types of games. You can see it in how he is. He shows so much to the rest. He helps the whole team. My partnership with Cuti, we feel each other. He knows what to do. I know what to do. We back each other. Dominic Solanke, who netted in both legs of the semi-final, has warned his teammates they cannot get trapped into thinking they have United's number just because they've beaten them 3 times already this season. When asked if those victories can give Spurs confidence, he said, "Yeah, a little bit, but obviously it's going to be a completely different game, different circumstances. Finals are never easy. We're both in the final for a reason. We've both done well in Europe, so we know it's going to be a difficult game. Pressure is a privilege. When you're at big clubs, you always want to be fighting for silverware." After Mason Mount had rubber-stamped Manchester United's passage to the Europa League final with his first goal of the night, he stood in front of the Stretford end and cupped his ear. Maybe he was making a reference to the talk that he was the sort of expensive signing that symbolises the club's failings in recent years. Or maybe, after the frustration brought on by his painful struggles with injury, he just wanted to hear the acclaim that signified a rare positive step in his Old Trafford career. Or maybe he was cheekily asking the crowd to show proper appreciation for the one moment of elite-class skill that turned a fairly mediocre United performance into a glorious procession to the final. Never mind that Casemiro, Rasmus Højlund, and Mount again would make it a crushing United victory on the night. It was Mount's sublime turn and finish just under 20 minutes from the end that was the pivotal moment in a game that had been run by Athletic for a good hour or so. Quite frankly, United were pretty abysmal until Mount struck with an individual effort that was a reminder of why so many top coaches down the years have adored this wonderful footballer. And after that, Athletic went to pieces, as they had done in Bilbao. But for half an hour, there was not even a suggestion United might add to their 3-goal advantage, and the Bilbao breakthrough was hardly a surprise. But the mistake that gave the half-chance to Mikel Joragaiza was a surprise, coming, as it did, from Harry Maguire. The misplaced pass still looked unlikely to be too damaging, but Joragaiza struck his effort nicely enough to beat Andre Onana's delayed takeoff. At least it gave United a nudge of urgency, and they would have been level just before the break had Alejandro Garnacho not once again shown that he can be a scorer of great goals rather than a great goal scorer. Occasionally doing the spectacular is great, frequently doing the routine is better. And it should have been a routine finish when Patrick Dorgu put him in the clear, but his attempt to send a chip over Julian Aguirrezabala went badly awry. The miss meant a pervading sense of anxiety remained, and that is why, just after the hour mark, Ruben Amorim opted for a triple change of personnel, Mount, Luke Shaw and Amad Diallo all entering the fray. The alterations had the desired effect, to say the least. And after Mount's brilliance and Casemiro's quick-thinking finish, Diallo's directness enabled him to set up Rasmus Højlund, who, literally, only had to let the assist hit his foot to get on the score sheet. 3-1, and even Højlund scored. Whether or not it was worthy of a celebratory selfie is open for debate, but the man who should have been posing for photos finished the job in quite remarkable fashion. When a clearance reached Mount just inside the Athletic half, he responded with a first-time left-footed hit that must have travelled a good 50 yards or so. Both of Mount's goals were a measure of a talent that, for reasons beyond the player's control, Old Trafford has yet to enjoy. Here, that talent has made sure United have an endgame of a European final. But for Mount himself, this will, hopefully, be a new beginning. Athletic Bilbao star Bernat Prados has called out Manchester United defender Victor Lindelof and referee Daniel Siebert that forced him to be substituted during Thursday's Europa League semi-final. Prados was introduced off the bench after 62 minutes, with Bilbao leading 1-0 on the night, though trailing 3-1 on aggregate. But just 5 minutes after he came on, the midfielder was the victim of a poor tackle from Lindelof. The Bilbao man had backheeled the ball, with Lindelof jumping in to tackle him off his feet. The Swedish defender planted his foot studs up into Prados' leg, leaving the Spaniard needing treatment. Referee Siebert opted against showing Lindelof either a yellow or a red card, and the video assistant referee backed that decision, with the United star escaping without any punishment. Prados was able to carry on, though was clearly struggling, and Mason Mount soon equalised for United. Just a minute after that goal, the midfielder was forced off, with the Bilbao star now hitting out. He posted a photo on Instagram of his bleeding leg, along with the caption, "There was no red card, there was no yellow card, there was no foul, play on. Europa League final." Prados, meanwhile, is set to undergo further medical tests before he is cleared to return to action. A statement from Bilbao read, "Bernat Prados suffered a hard tackle that was not sanctioned by the referee and caused him an incised contused injury to the front of his right leg. He is awaiting further treatment." Bilbao boss Ernesto Valverde also pointed to Lindelof's tackle in his post-match press conference. The Spaniard did admit, though, that his side had not been up to scratch. Prados has a very hard blow to his tibia and a deep wound. We'll have to run tests to see how he's doing, Valverde said. You have to keep in mind that games last 90 minutes and you have to go all the way against teams that won't forgive you. We kept them in the box and pushed to get into the tie and get into the places we've wanted all season, but we did a lot of things wrong in the last 15 minutes. It seems like the tie has been a walkover, but it hasn't. The excitement for the final was there from the start, and we played a great match. At certain moments, against such strong teams, you can't concede anything, and we did. In the first leg, we were there to win, and they were overwhelming. Eliminations are painful, but only one team wins the cup. In La Liga, we still have important challenges to achieve. We want to stay fourth because we want to play in the Champions League next season.